Card AI. And the best part is that you don't need advanced Excel knowledge to do this, because I will break it down in 5 simple steps. In step 1, we will analyze the data and decide how to design the dashboard. In step 2, we will create the dashboard layout using cards and text boxes. In step 3, we will summarize and group our data using pivot tables. In step 4, we will create charts and graphs to display key trends and insights. And finally, in step 5, we will use slicer or filter to make the dashboard fully dynamic. I have provided all the materials in the description of this video so you can download them and follow along. With that being said, let's get started. Here's the dataset that we will be using for this tutorial. This dataset contains information related to sales, including invoice dates, customer names, service type, department and city, sales and margin data, and other sales-related metrics. First step is to analyze this data and decide what information we should display on the dashboard. So I will copy a sample of this data. Go to ChatGPT and paste this data here. Then copy prompt number 1 and paste that prompt in ChatGPT. You will find this prompt in the description of this video. Hit enter and ChatGPT will give us the idea to design our dashboard according to the data that we have provided. This step is very important because if you do a little planning, it will become a lot easier to create your dashboard. So first of all, ChatGPT is telling us some important numbers that we should display on the dashboard. Then it's recommending what type of graphs and charts we should create from our data. And finally, it's telling us how to design the dashboard layout and the components and sections that we should include in our dashboard. So based on the layout suggested by ChatGPT, I have prepared this draft structure for our dashboard. In the top section, we will show some important numbers related to sales and operating margins. And in the middle and bottom sections, we are going to show the charts and graphs. So the planning part is done. Now let's start creating the layout for our dashboard. One way of doing this is to use the cards. Go to Insert tab and from the Shapes menu, select the rectangle shape. Place the shape here and resize it according to your requirements. But this procedure is time-taking because you have to manually create and format each card, and it takes a lot of time aligning and spacing between all the cards. So we will again use ChatGPT to do this. Go to the video description and copy prompt number 2. Then go to ChatGPT, paste the prompt and hit enter. And it will generate a VBA code to create the cards. Copy the code generated by ChatGPT. Then go back to the Excel workbook and press Alt F11 to open the VBA editor. Go to the Insert menu and choose Module. Then paste the code provided by ChatGPT inside the module. Save the code and close the VBA editor. Make sure to save your Excel as a macro-enabled workbook. Then go to the Developer tab and from the Insert menu, choose Form button. Place the button anywhere on your sheet. Now it's asking which macro you want to link with this button. So I will double click to link this macro that we just generated using ChatGPT. And I will rename this button to Generate Cards. Click the button and you can see that all the cards are automatically created with proper formatting. Now these cards are a bit out of position, so I will reposition them and make some minor adjustments. And I want these cards in white color. So click on any card, press Ctrl A to select them all and fill them with white color. Then go to Format tab and add a shadow effect to these cards. That's all, our dashboard layout is almost ready. And in my opinion, that was quick and easy because you don't have to manually create and format each card. Now let's create the header and format it. And finally, we will add labels to each of these cards. To do this, go to Insert tab and from the Shapes menu, select the text box. Place this text box on the card and rename it. Increase the font size and font color according to your requirements. Then go to Format tab, set Shape Fill to No Fill and Shape Outline to No Outline. Then select the text box and hold Ctrl-Shift on your keyboard. And using the left mouse click, duplicate and drag it over to the next card just like that. Rename it and so on. Repeat the same step for each text box and add them to all the cards. I am going to speed up this part. So we have added text boxes to all the cards, and with that we have finished creating the dashboard layout. Now let's move on to the next step, which is to create pivot tables. But before creating pivot tables, I want to make a couple of adjustments to the dataset. Go to the data sheet and add 2 columns after the date column. Rename these columns to month and year respectively. Then apply text formula in the month column to extract months from these dates. And similarly, apply text formula in the year column to extract the years. Fill the formula down and paste them as values only. Then press Ctrl A to select the entire dataset and Ctrl T to convert it into a table. Make sure that My Table has Headers option is checked and click OK. Then rename your table to Sales Data. After this, add a new sheet. Click OK, and now you can drag and drop these fields to generate a pivot table report. But because we want to create like 10 plus pivot tables, so instead of doing it manually, we will use ChatGPT to do this. Copy prompt number 3 from the video's description. Then go to ChatGPT, paste the prompt and hit enter. Wait for ChatGPT to generate the code. And once finished, copy the VBA code generated by ChatGPT. Then go back to the Excel workbook and select the pivot sheet. Press Alt F11 to open the VBA editor. Go to Insert menu and click Module. Paste the code given by ChatGPT in the module. Save the code and close the VBA editor. Then go to Developer tab and from the Insert menu, select Form button. Place the button anywhere on your sheet and link this button with the pivot table macro that we just created using ChatGPT. Rename the button to Generate Pivot Tables and click the button to auto-generate all the pivot tables. But unfortunately, it's giving this 1004 error. So I will click Debug to check what's causing the problem. And we can see that this code line is missing the property. Now I know how to fix this error, but I will copy this code and I will ask ChatGPT to fix this error and give me the revised code. So ChatGPT has provided us the corrected code. Copy this code and go back to the Excel workbook. Open the VB editor again by pressing Alt F11. Delete the existing code and paste in the updated code provided by ChatGPT. Save the code and close the VBA editor. And let's click the button again. This time it worked perfectly and we have got all the required pivot tables automatically generated in a matter of seconds. Now it's very important that you write a proper prompt, and if you learn how to talk with ChatGPT, you will be able to solve the problem with minimum margin of error. So now that we have got all the pivot tables ready, let's move on to the final step, which is to create the charts and graphs for our dashboard. I will use Claude AI for this step. First of all, copy prompt number 4 from the video's description. Then go to Claude AI and paste that prompt to generate the code. Now the reason I use Claude AI here is that this tool is specifically designed to handle complex coding problems. And because my prompt is long and complex, so Claude AI is probably more suitable in this scenario. So Claude AI has generated the code. Let's copy that code and go back to the Excel workbook. Switch to the dashboard sheet and Alt F11 to open the VBA editor. Go to Insert menu and insert a module. Then paste the code that we copied from Claude AI. Save the code and close the VBA editor. Now go to Developer tab and from the Insert menu, select Form button. Add the Form button anywhere on your sheet and link that button with the Generate Dashboard Charts macro. I will rename this button to Generate Dashboard. Let's click that button and there you go. All the charts are automatically generated and placed on the relevant cards with proper formatting and sizing. If you did it manually, it would take a long time to create and format each chart. Now let's insert some numbers on these cards in the top section. To do this, click on any text box and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Then go up here in the formula bar and enter the equal sign. Select the pivot sheet and we can see that total sales amount is in cell A2. So I will select cell A2 and hit enter. It will give the error. So all you need to do is to remove this part from the formula and only leave the cell reference. Then increase the font size and font color according to your requirement. Now select the text box, press Ctrl Shift and using the mouse cursor, duplicate and drag it over to the next card. And repeat the same process for all the remaining cards. Let's go to the pivot sheet again and we can see that total margin amount is in cell A6. So back to the dashboard sheet and change the cell reference of this text box to cell A6. And similarly, change the cell references for the remaining text boxes. Then click on this text box, select Format Painter, and apply the format to the remaining text boxes. And now if you want, you can further customize these charts to make your dashboard stand out. So I am going to do some further customization to give final shape to our dashboard, after which we will make this dashboard fully dynamic. I will speed up this part. So our dashboard is ready. Now we will make this dashboard fully interactive by using the slicer or filter. To do this, select any chart and go to the Analyze tab. Click Insert Slicer and from the Slicer filter options, select the year. Click OK. Increase the slicer columns to 2. Then resize and position the slicer to fit on this card. And now if you click on the slicer's year filter, you will see that this chart is changing dynamically. But this effect is not applied to the remaining charts. To fix this problem, click on the slicer and go to the Options tab. Then click Report Connections and here check all these options. And now if you click on the slicer's year filter, you can see that everything is changing dynamically. Using the same method, you can add further slicers if you want. And with that, our fully interactive Excel dashboard is ready.